Morning. Don't know where you are. But where I am, it's early. The world's still stretching, the coffee's hot, and the signals are already coming in. Let's take a look before the day starts making demands. This is Signal Check with Adrian North. So Meta's pulling the plug on end-to-end encryption for Instagram chats. After May 8th, those private conversations won't be quite so private anymore. If you've got chats that use encryption, you'll see instructions in the app. That's it. That's the notice. Here's the thing, though. We've heard this argument before. Politicians love to say if you've got nothing to hide, you don't need encryption. Makes law enforcement's job harder, they say. And look, that sounds reasonable until you realize that's their problem to solve, not ours to surrender. Privacy isn't about having something to hide, it's about having something to protect. The irony? Meta, of all companies, stepping back from privacy protections. The same Meta that's faced endless scrutiny over data handling. You'd think they'd be moving the other direction. Pew Research just dropped new data on how Americans actually feel about artificial intelligence. And it's complicated. The numbers show we're split, fascinated and frightened in roughly equal measure. Some people see AI as this incredible tool that'll solve problems we haven't even imagined yet. Others, they're worried about jobs, about misinformation, about control slipping away. Both views are valid, by the way. This isn't one of those debates where one side's clearly right. What's interesting is how much the opinions vary by age, by industry, by whether you've actually used AI tools yourself. The closer you get to it, the more nuanced your view becomes. We're living through the early days of something massive, and nobody, not the experts, not the builders, knows exactly where it goes. That uncertainty, it shows up in the data. Handela. That's the symbol you're seeing more and more in cyber attacks traced back to Iran. Wired's been tracking how this cartoon character, originally created by a Palestinian artist decades ago, has become the face of pro-Iranian hacker counterattacks. They've hit medical device giant Stryker, government systems, infrastructure. And every time they leave this calling card, Handela, a kid with his back turned. It's deliberate, obviously. Symbols matter in information warfare. They send messages, they build identity, they claim responsibility without words. What's striking here is how sophisticated these operations have become. Not just random disruption, but targeted, strategic hits designed to send geopolitical messages through digital means. We're watching cyber conflict evolve in real time, and the tactics, including the symbolism, they're maturing fast. Elon Musk's xAI is hemorrhaging people. Again, started with 11 co-founders 3 years ago. Now, 2. This week, Zhihong Dai and Guodong Zhang walked out after Musk reportedly complained that xAI's coding tools weren't competing with Claude or Codex. So what happened? SpaceX and Tesla executives parachuted in to evaluate staff and, well, fire anyone who didn't make the cut. Here's the brutal reality. xAI is now part of SpaceX, and with an IPO looming, they need Grok to actually work, to actually compete. And clearly Musk doesn't think it was built right the first time, or the second time. The company's burning cash, cycling through talent, and trying to catch up to Anthropic and OpenAI, who've had years of runway. Some new hires are still joining, though. Why? Direct access to frontier models and compute resources, that's the draw. But you've got to wonder, how many restarts can one company handle before the foundation just cracks? Runner's World is making the case that to run longer and better, you need to slow down. And one way to do that? Stop counting miles. Count time instead. Run for 60 minutes, not 6 miles. Sounds simple, but it shifts everything, takes the pressure off pace, lets you focus on time on your feet, keeping your heart rate low, building endurance without the mental math of hitting splits. For beginners especially, this changes the game. You're not chasing a number on your watch, you're just moving. There's an old Asian proverb, when in a hurry, go around. Comes from a story about a lake known for brutal winds. People in a rush would try to cross straight through and capsize. The ones who went the long way, they made it every time. Hacking, running, life, the parallels are everywhere. Sometimes the fastest way forward is deliberately taking it slow, building the foundation, not forcing the shortcut. Your long runs aren't about proving you can push hard, they're about proving you can sustain, and that requires patience most of us don't naturally have. That's Signal Check for today. Close the tabs, step outside, the day's waiting. We'll talk again next time.